A female soldier had been scrubbing the cracked concrete floor of the old barracks since dawn, her hands raw from cold water and harsh soap. Around her, boots thundered through the corridors, yet hardly anyone noticed her. To most, she was simply another private assigned to jobs nobody wanted. But that quiet morning was about to uncover a truth buried for years. And before the sun reached its highest point, an entire military base would fall silent because of one unexpected salute. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Private Emma Carter never complained. She believed that every duty, no matter how small, carried honor. Still, she couldn't ignore the whispers that followed her through the barracks. Some soldiers mocked her for always volunteering for difficult tasks. Others assumed she lacked ambition because she never fought for recognition. They never saw the letters she quietly tucked into her locker each evening. Letters from the father she had lost in combat when she was only 9. His final message had stayed with her every day: respect isn't demanded. It's earned when nobody is watching. Those words echoed in her mind as she knelt on the cold floor, sunlight filtering through dusty windows and painting golden streaks across the worn concrete. The air smelled of detergent and old wood. Every brushstroke across the floor reminded her of the promise she had made to honor her father's memory without ever expecting applause. Outside, engines suddenly rumbled. The atmosphere shifted. Conversations faded. An inspection convoy had arrived hours earlier than expected. Officers hurried across the courtyard while soldiers rushed into perfect formation. Emma remained inside, unaware that the highest-ranking officer visiting the base had chosen an unusual route through the oldest barracks. General Thomas Whitmore walked slowly, saying nothing. His sharp eyes examined every corner, every detail others overlooked. Then he stopped. Emma was still cleaning. She immediately stood, embarrassed that he had found her covered in soap and dust. She lowered her eyes, expecting criticism for not being outside with everyone else. Instead, something remarkable happened. The general stared at the faded name stitched onto her uniform. Carter. His expression changed. For a heartbeat, the entire room seemed frozen. Without speaking a single word, General Whitmore raised his hand and offered her a flawless military salute. Gasps spread through the hallway. No one understood. Not the officers. Not the soldiers. Not even Emma herself. The silence became heavier than any command ever shouted across the parade ground. Then the general quietly asked, "Your father was Captain Daniel Carter?" Emma nodded, confused. The general's voice softened. "He saved my life. Years earlier, during a devastating battlefield ambush, Captain Carter had refused to retreat. Instead, he shielded his wounded commanding officer, then Major Whitmore, and held off enemy fire long enough for the rescue team to arrive. Captain Carter never made it home. I have carried that debt every single day," the general admitted. "Your father never asked for recognition. Neither have you." Whispers rippled through the gathered crowd. Suddenly, every soldier remembered the countless mornings Emma had worked without complaint, helping others before herself, accepting invisible responsibilities with quiet dignity. Shame settled over those who had judged her. Respect replaced every careless assumption. The general turned toward the formation. "In this uniform," he declared, "greatness is not measured by rank. It is measured by character." He saluted Emma once more. This time, something extraordinary happened. Every soldier on the base raised their hand. Hundreds of synchronized salutes swept across the courtyard like a single wave moving through the wind. Boots struck the pavement in perfect unison. The sound echoed between every building, carrying a message stronger than any medal could ever deliver. Emma's eyes filled with tears she could no longer hide. She finally understood that her father's legacy had never disappeared. It had simply been waiting for the right moment to be seen. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And sometimes, the quietest hands leave behind the loudest echoes. If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more unforgettable stories of courage and compassion. And remember, the respect you earn in silence is often the respect the world remembers the longest.